alternative. Some of the following facts. Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. On a good night, listener discretion is advised.
What did that guy say?
I don't know, that music was ripping. The phone number for Loveline is 1-800-LOVE-191. It's 1-800-LOVE-191. And now, here's Loveline with your host, Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Yep, Mike scared me. Phone number, yeah, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla, that is Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. Tonight our guest is Tom Lennon. Tom is Mr. LePan. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Absolutely perfectly, yeah.
He is from Viva Variety.
Mr. LePan. Very nice. That was beautiful. Yeah.
Rabbit. Mr. Rabbit.
Drew speaks French. I don't know if you know it, Tom, but Drew went to, what was the name of your school? The Little Lord Fauntleroy School for albino hemophiliacs. And they actually had he actually majored in ascot fluffing. That was his junior year. Then he switched to monogramming sleeves at a certain point. They played 7.5-man football.
It's like tee it off before the show even begins. The view starts flying the second the mic goes on. It's amazing. You're getting better at that.
You are very well turned out. Yeah.
All you need to know about the difference between us is I went to North Hollywood and Drew went to...
You need a little more information. He went to North Hollywood High and majored in...
ceramics.
Yes.
Hey, nice.
Yes.
You know about ceramics?
Yeah, well, I wish I had that skill.
Thank God I parlayed that into very lucrative speaker manufacturer. Where do you use ceramics?
Carpet cleaning.
Other than making ashtrays.
And bongs, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You don't know how many bongs were passed off as vases. Geez, I don't know if this thing's going to hold water with a hole right in the side of it, but okay. Yeah, I have this other thing here. The special flower sticks into the stem that sticks out from the rice.
The Volkswagen's come with us now, I think.
Anyway, Tom is the star of Viva Variety. Viva Variety is on its third season. This is the third year of the show.
On
Comedy
season.
Central.
On, yeah, little cable
season.
Yeah,
Cable
which is
season.
13.
Well, you know, we have guests in here all the time or on TV shows, and the schedule's completely muddled now. It's sort of like the football season if you factored in arena football and Canadian football and the World Football League.
Yeah,
you can't figure out
basketball season or something.
You can't figure out when it begins and ends anymore, and therefore it's hard to figure out how many years a guy's been in the league.
Right.
But especially, I was getting this thing with people where their show was a replacement show, so technically it wasn't a full season, but still they tell people they're going on their third. But Viva Variety...
We've been on like a year ago, April, and then like next week we finish our 40th show or something like that.
And the show I mean, Comedy Central does a real good job of promoting their product.
They sure do, yeah. They do now. It's really... they're kind of on a very hot streak.
Yeah.
Adam, too. You're comparing it to the promotion that we are used
that
to.
Loveline gets.
MTV hired a bum to put a sandwich board sign on. It said love on the front and line on the back, and they gave him a pint of rye, and they kicked him in the ass, and he wandered down Santa Monica Boulevard. He hasn't been seen again.
You guys are very big stars.
We think he burnt it that night. It was a cold evening.
I don't know a young lady who doesn't have a thing for Dr. Drew.
Oh, me neither.
I know.
Except for his wife.
I'll be honest, I'm getting a little bit sick of it.
Hey, you're getting sick of it. I swear to God, I got to sit in here and watch Tyra Banks fawn over him. Tyra Banks.
Wow. Kudos to you.
Thank you. That was
well played.
So, Tom...
My wife does also like that.
Tom normally has the sort of penciled-in mustache and the velvet bow tie and that kind of thing. Yes. And so he's very mild-mannered and nondescript in a very handsome way.
Oh, thank you.
Nondescript in a strikingly handsome way.
Oh, thank you so much.
When he doesn't have all this junk on. So you see him and you think he's a guy you played Little League with or something.
Right.
You just...
Somebody's accountant.
And it's the same with...
but I mean, it's somebody you came across. And
more reliable than a sort of sleazy Euro.
Right, he's talking about his friends.
Slightly
get you out of that
oh, sure.
All right. True. What got into you? What, did you have a cup of coffee and
I sat for 30 minutes waiting for you. We had an appointment at 9:30 for
all right. Well, what can you know? I'm a big star.
Yeah.
I had to tape boxing. Yeah. Razor Ruddock was making a comeback, and I had to see that. So anyway, you know things that amazes me, and we'll get right back to Viva Variety. How boxers get fat. You know what I mean?
When they're in training?
Heavyweight boxers. Yeah, like Razor Ruddock made a comeback. He's 34 years old. He fought Tyson a couple of times about 5 years ago. And then another guy who's 34 was making a comeback too. Two heavyweights, 6'3". Both of them had big spare tires around their bellies. And I was thinking to myself, most 34-year-old guys aren't that fat in general. Anyway, you guys box. You spend all day in the gym, all day working on the heavy bag, working on the speed bag, jumping rope, hitting yourself in the gut with that medicine ball, sparring. How dare you be fat? How can you be fat?
They must take eggs all day, too, I mean, it's a different kind of diet.
It sort of proves that above a certain weight, you can't be,
Right.
You can't be all muscle above a certain weight.
You don't look like Jan Michael Vincent when you're 50.
When you're 250.
Yeah.
When you're 250.
Yeah, right.
It just goes to fat.
Yeah,
right. If you're a guy who's 45 years old and you're in a heavyweight division, you're going to be fat because that's the way the body works.
That's right.
Interesting. Yeah, because Foreman, even during all his comebacks and stuff, was fat, and this guy all he did was jump rope.
And they really aren't that. They have tons of muscle. It's just there's extra tissue there.
Okay. Shut Drew's mic off. I'm done with him. Extra tissue. I got to remember that line when it's...
well, Shaq looks heavy, and they say he's, what, like 7% body fat,
Oh, Shaq?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of looks doughy, but I guess he's a rock.
Yeah, but he does look a little doughy, but I think it's more the way he talks that people make him think he's doughy. So Viva Variety, third season.
Third season, yeah.
And basically it is the only sort of variety show that's on now, isn't it?
Well, Penn and Teller actually started one last night. That's...
Oh, I thought that was a special. I didn't know they were going with
season.
that.
So yeah, and it's very different from our show. It's not too close, but it's basically we looked at shows like you ever see Sábado Gigante?
Yeah,
flipping around on
Mexican
Univision.
TV.
It is. Yeah, basically we kind of took that and stole it.
Right.
And said, here's some great aspects. It's this huge, enthusiastic.
Let me tell you the thinking behind Mexican television. They know by 8 o'clock their entire viewership is loaded on beer. So they have people in sequins dresses with big jugs and guys dressed like flies running around, a guy chasing them with a giant fly swatter, and basically you don't even need to have the sound up.
No.
You can be listening to Jaime Jarrín call the Dodger game while you're watching these shows.
And a lot of people are, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
It's it's perfect. That's and that's what we. Hopefully, you can enjoy our show and not hear the words. So.
Yeah, it's very, very visually stimulating. Now, you, I don't know what part of the country you hail from, but I found out earlier. Now it's all coming back to me that Tom was in The State, which was a pretty solid sketch comedy show that was on MTV for a couple of seasons, or at least MTV seasons.
Yes.
2 MTV seasons, yeah.
That's 3 weeks. Yeah, okay.
A fortnight.
We've been on 19 seasons so far, and I've only aged 1 year.
In 8 months or every year.
So you then hooked up with a couple of guys from The State?
Yeah, it's me and Michael Black and Ben Durant from The State, and Carrie Kenny, who's also, who was the only woman in The State.
Right.
Who's a big Dr. Drew fan also. I was supposed to pass that on. And, yeah, we did that for a nice run. It was very culty while it was on. It never really took off.
Here's the thing about doing sketch comedy, in my opinion, because I come from a background in sketch comedy, and here's why you're damned if you ever try to launch a sketch comedy show on TV. The viewing audience thinks it's the easiest form of comedy. In reality, it's the most difficult form of comedy. So they judge you as if it's like if you were doing a dive off a high platform. You did the world's most difficult maneuver, but all the judges thought it was a cannonball in terms of how easy it is, and you get screwed.
Yeah, nobody ever looks at something and says, hey, wow, that wasn't dramatic, But, people just can't wait. Especially when we came out on MTV, and MTV didn't necessarily have as good as a rep as it does now, and we were nobody, and kids in the Hall fans were just kind of waiting for us to say, oh, they suck, And they did every chance they got. And they still do every once in a while. They come up, hey, Kids in the Hall, and I say, no, The State, and they say, oh, yeah, you suck.
It's funny, people get real territorial about that stuff, too. They hate all the news stuff. They're real fanatical about Kids in the Hall.
Oh, yeah, I can't walk down the street in Canada.
And people think old SNL was like wall-to-wall, just genius. If you go back and watch SNL from 1977, it's got some moments, but it's not
It's
not
real
genius.
Quiet every once in a while too.
And you sit down and you take a good look at it, and the writing wasn't spectacular, and the bits weren't spectacular. There's a certain nostalgia.
There's a lot of energy, and
I'd say Viva Variety is 3 times as good as Saturday Night Live at its peak, at its best month.
Thank you. I say the exact same thing to everybody I meet.
All right, so let's take some calls and we'll get into this wacky schedule that you got because
I got.
No, not. I'm pointing at you. I was gonna say Viva Variety's on a whole bunch of different times, not only Tuesdays 10 o'clock. But did you bring that Space Ghost tape in?
No.
No. Okay.
I told you why.
You're worthless. Oh, please.
No, I'm getting one from Chip. I'm gonna get it for you.
Okay.
I'm in pain. My breast hurts.
Sarah.
Yeah.
You're 21. Drew did Space Ghost last week. I begged him to bring the tape in. He did not. It's okay. Let's the listeners down. Go ahead, Sarah.
I'm calling because I called you last week, and you made me cry.
Yeah.
Drew did?
No, Adam did.
No, Adam made me cry.
Remember? You felt guilty after you talked to Sarah.
What did you say to her?
No, I broke her.
Yeah.
I sweated her.
So what happened?
Actually, I was calling because I had told you I went to grand jury that Thursday.
Yeah.
And the reason I called basically was because I needed some kind of strength, and I was looking to my dad. And
Right.
no, I haven't told my father.
Okay, let me
Yes, I
let me
heard.
let me recap the story for Tom. Hold on a second, Sarah. Sarah called in last week. Sarah said, and I'm just going to sort of paraphrase here, but Sarah said basically she was dating a black man for a number of months. They broke up. Then they sort of reconciled or attempted to a little bit. He basically came in and raped her. Now they're taking it to court. This guy has
done this to other women.
done this to other women, and she wants to know how to tell her father.
That was her question.
And I said, "Where's your father live?" And she said, "Iowa."
Minnesota, yeah.
And I said, "Where do you live?" And she said, "Minnesota." And I said,
Wisconsin, and she was in
Oh.
somewhere. Right.
"Damn you with that genius brain of yours. Would you just knock it off? Who cares? They live far apart." And I said, "Listen, you're 21. Why do you got to tell your dad?" And she said, "He needs to know. I want to tell him." And I said, "Well, it's going to upset him, isn't it?" And she said, "He needs to know." And I said, "Is your dad a racist?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Did your dad ever, physically abuse you or hit you a little bit?"
No.
No.
Except with a belt and with a swatch.
Then she started crying. Yeah, he used to beat her with a grandfather clock.
And he's in the clergy, too, if I remember right, isn't he?
Right. So the point is she broke down and started crying because I sussed out that it was payback time
For that.
that I got a black boyfriend and he raped me. For Dad, who beat her and was a racist.
And so our advice to her was, look, just take care of yourself right now. Get through this thing, get friends around you.
That seems like a good
Don't
idea.
worry about this whole element.
Right. And Sarah?
Stay in reality.
So you didn't tell your dad. And how'd the grand jury thing go?
Me and 2 other women got 4 indictments on him.
Mm-hmm.
So it went really well. It was very difficult. I mean,
I
it still
bet.
is.
Oh.
And,
Do you keep friends around you? You have support for this?
No, I did by myself.
Sarah, you got to have support with stuff like this.
Did this guy have a record?
Now he does.
He had drugs and stuff. I guess he was in prison for that
Oh.
in Pennsylvania.
Sarah.
But that's like nothing to do with me, But
You chose him. It has a lot to do with
She
it.
noticed the teardrop tattoo, but he said he was in clowning college in the late 60s and was tossed out on a technicality, and that's what it was from. Sarah?
yeah.
So what's going to happen to this guy?
Well, I just wanted to tell you guys that I really appreciated all that you said to me because it helped me so much
Right.
to go and do what I had to do last Thursday. And it's a real struggle right now, but there is a group of girls that we meet in the conference room and
Great.
talk.
Great.
And you guys were the best thing for me. Breaking me down was the best thing that could
That's
happen.
right.
Because it realized, I'm not going to, let somebody, hurt me. And
It is the first step in really regaining yourself, is empowerment and not being the victim of powerlessness.
Right.
To stay present when you are in these old dramas and not doing the old stuff over again.
So what's going to happen to the guy? Do they know?
He got rid of his indictments, and he's on a $150,000 cash bond.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's
I don't
gonna
know.
he's gonna get what's coming to him, but our concern really should be with Sarah, and that she stay connected with people, that she keep talking about the rape incident.
I'm more interested in the case, really.
I know
How
you
many-
are, and I want you to stop talking about
Well,
it.
Well, please, we're giving you enough tough love.
Adam, they came on here and said everybody likes Dr. Drew, but I really like you, even though you made me cry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, you had a rough upbringing,
likes
and I think
abusive guys.
you'd be more
It's not
attracted
like
to me
that.
if I broke you down.
No, it's not like that.
Really? Because, I got
I just think I just think you're cute. And you said everybody thinks Dr. Drew is, and you're the one that doesn't want to know anything about it.
Well, listen, I know your story, and I know you're getting better. I'm just curious, because I'm interested in the law and how I can evade it. How many counts this guy was brought up with?
4, and actually 1 count is sodomy, too, so...
Really? What do they do, tack on? Is that 6 months? What do they do? It's weird. It's like, okay, you raped 4 women. One of them you got in the ass. Now you're in trouble, buddy. It's bizarre. Look, rape's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
You rape 4 women, that's enough.
That's how arbitrary law is. I mean,
I know. And believe me, when this guy gets time off for good behavior in 42 months, he'll be back to raping. Absolutely.
if he doesn't get strung out on drugs again first.
Yeah. Listen, I think anyone who's a sexual predator needs to be tagged like caribou, and we need to monitor them. And all you bleeding heart ACLU wussies, wait till I come after your daughter. We'll see how fast you sign up for the new Adam order.
Yeah.
Hey, can you get us on that Viva Variety, Tom?
Absolutely.
Could you?
Yes.
You think so?
Oh, are you kidding? I produce it.
I can ride a unicycle.
There you go. Boom. Done.
I swear to God.
Absolutely.
And Drew...
Let's see what we can do.
Drew can watch me ride that unicycle
Yeah.
better than... Now, Drew, what can you do? Can you do anything?
I can sing.
You got some?
He can
There you
sing
go.
opera.
Boom, you're in.
Drew can sing opera.
Can
I
you
can
really?
ride a
We've had some opera singing.
Yeah?
Grandma let her sing some opera last year. She was surprisingly great, actually.
Really?
Do a duet.
Yeah.
That'd be bizarre.
Yeah,
But I
you-
do know a bunch of duets.
You wouldn't do it, Drew. Jason,
Yes.
you're 31. You're on with Tom Lennon from Viva Variety.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
All right. I wanted to ask Dr. Drew, when I was 13, I started breaking out across my shoulders and my arms and my chest with acne real bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it started changing into, after it would go away, it would turn into a scar,
Sure.
a rather large scar.
Right.
And about 6 months later, my mom took me to the dermatologist, and he called it cystic acne.
Right.
And he told me then of he gave me some medication. I don't remember what it was, but it was supposed to try and get rid of it.
Right.
But that didn't work. And he said if that didn't work, I could take injections into each.
Right.
Each
That's a kind
scar.
of, that's good. That all is sort of an old way of dealing with this problem. That would have been 10, 12 years ago.
And by the way, just a quick note for all the Loveline callers. The part where you go, he gave me some medication, I was at the doctor, you can leave out the part where it was supposed to get rid of it. We'll just go ahead and we'll go ahead and assume that if you went and saw a specialist and he prescribed some medication that was for the problem you showed up for. Yeah.
So what's the question?
Well, I'm 31 now, and I was thinking about going back to see if they had anything updated to get rid of it now.
You still have it?
Yeah, some of it has went away, but you can still see it.
What do you think?
No, I mean, Jason.
Of course he has
Yeah.
it.
I gotta ask the question.
Yeah,
Accutane. Jason, Accutane.
Yell at you like I yell at the listeners.
You already have. Accutane. There is a new, it's not new, but it's, it's a decade old, but it's very effective.
Hold
Many
on.
times
Are you
for-
on birth control?
No.
No, all right. You're fine then.
It's a concern in women of childbearing age because it can cause severe birth defects. So if you're a woman wanting to get on Accutane, particularly adolescent,
You got to be on birth
you
control.
got to be on birth control.
Good. Everyone should get on Accutane and birth control. There's a bunch of beautiful geisha girls running around who you couldn't get pregnant. Could you imagine a world? What a utopia, Tom. Bunch of
Acne-free,
clear-skinned young girls who
man.
you could just have sex with and never pull out.
Perfect.
There was it's a good thing I don't listen to what the hell you're saying. Just sometimes the last couple words trail off into my mind.
Hey, but Drew, let me ask you a couple of questions. Why is it that some people scar and some
Yeah.
people don't? I see guys with bad scarring, and I think to myself, I've had zits. Well, I put Bondo on a zit.
I know.
Or I put the Catalyst hardener on a
Yes.
zit. I was reading, I used to do a little auto body work.
Yeah, sure.
And Bondo is like epoxy, whether it's like a two-part resin sort of thing, and it's the stuff you use to
And you would
fill
put it on your skin?
fill dents in the fender. Well, there's two parts. There's the big creamy gushy part that never gets hard, and then there's the catalyst you squeeze in, and that's the hardener. I was reading the thing one time, and it said 99% benzoyl peroxide, and I thought, hey, this clear cell's 10%, and I got
Boom.
99% here from Pep Boys. Plus, I can get like a 40-gallon drum of it for the same price I get a half ounce at the Thrifties of that. So I put the Bondo catalyst on my face.
Did it bleach your skin
No.
clear or no?
No, Didn't do anything. Just hung some fuzzy dice for my nose and went about my business.
Didn't help.
No, it didn't do anything. But the point is I have taken like ballpoint pens and stabbed zits, but I
have no doubt.
I do not have a scar from it.
And why
is that?
Why do some people form keloids?
What's a keloid?
It's a hypertrophic scar. Some people's scars get real big.
Oh, sure.
And
Yeah.
Well, black people get that,
really?
right?
But some Caucasians do too, and there's no reason that we know of. I don't know if people are probably studying it, but why do people get that? It's a combination of the way the skin heals with the kind of acne the person gets.
Mm-hmm.
The cystic acne, these little abscesses, scar.
Yeah. All right. I still get zits. I'm 34 years old.
Hey, I want to refer back to the humanity is de-evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Getting acne still at 40. Sarah, they called us about the abuse thing. There's a study coming out this week in one of the journals that shows they went and did interviews in emergency rooms about domestic violence, real careful interviews, and they found that 1 out of 3 women were being had been or were being, I think it was 1 out of 3, maybe 2 out of 3. It was like a huge number of women were
abused in
domestic violence. Yeah.
But the follow-up survey found out that 5 out of 7 were asking for it. So it's sort of evened out. Tom wrote that on a little piece of paper and slid it across the table. He wanted me to read it. I should have read it first. That was a way out of line, Tom. All right. Just like you, I play character. You see?
do, I know.
I can say anything I like. Right, Drew?
Tough love. Very tough love.
It's not the real you, Tom. It's a family show,
The
Adam.
real me is home napping, masturbating. I got to figure out a way to masturbate in my sleep, Drew. I really do.
In your sleep?
Yeah, do you understand what that would do for me?
Best
Must
of
be
all
some
worlds
kind of
for you?
machine or something you could...
Oh, that's right. I got to go down to
Invent something.
I got to go down to the aquarium store tomorrow and do some more research. Okay, Tom Lennon is here from Viva Variety, and we'll be right back.
You have 5 seconds.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
2.
Back in a minute.
1.
Loveline is brought to you by Half Baked from Universal Studios and Brazen Bean.
Loveline. 39 kilowatts. Oh my, it's Loveline. 94.7 NRK.
And this is Kyle Broslowski from South Park. And you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Yes, you is. Tom Lennon is here from Viva Variety, 10 o'clock, Tuesday nights. And rerun when?
Reruns Saturday nights at like 10:30 and Sundays at like 11:30.
Right, so it's a 7-day a week. Oh, sorry, 3-day a week.
Yeah, 3 days a week. Tuesdays and then on the weekends.
Didn't do my math correctly there. And there's 3 days in a week? No. And Viva, I was going to say this, and I was saying it to someone, and maybe it was Matt and Trey from South Park a couple of weeks ago when they were in here, that Comedy Central has really come out of nowhere with a vengeance over the last year or so. And with shows, I mean, everything they're doing is doing real well. My best friend is doing Win Ben Stein's Money.
A great show.
And, of course, South Park and The Daily Show. And they just...
Jon Stewart
just signed
for a huge deal, I guess, for that. He'll be amazing. He's hilarious.
He's a great guy, real nice guy, and real funny guy.
There's a new one, Upright Citizens Brigade, is a very funny show. They got a sketch show, a new sketch show.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, that's actually really, really good. It's a little weird. It's a little dark.
I was basically drawing this analogy. I said it a couple of weeks ago, but I think it bears repeating, that what's going on with cable TV and certainly stations like Comedy Central is akin to what was going on in the automotive industry in the mid-'70s, which there were the big three, coincidentally, Ford, GM, Chrysler back then. And there are the big three now, ABC, NBC, CBS, and they were being overtaken by these little companies like Toyota, Honda. They were just starting to show up on American shores, but they didn't pay any attention to them, and they said, we're still gonna unveil the Plymouth Matador. It has actual medallions, doubloons, in the rear taillights. And we'll get Ricardo Montalban to talk about the Corinthian leather and so on and so forth. We had a gas crisis that we just got past. They wouldn't listen. In other words, and in a short 4 or 5 years, Chrysler was going under.
Yeah.
I mean, there's these huge companies where then at their knees, and they still haven't been able to get the market share back from Honda, Toyota, Nissan, and that kind of thing. I think the same thing is happening with a lot of cable stations as it pertains to the big three of broadcasting, and the big three ought to wake up. The problem is they're getting a little soft.
Well, they, Comedy Central was in a great place, which is they got to develop all this stuff not, under a microscope and not with a ton of pressure on them to be delivering, 16 and 17 ratings. And so they could be loose and in being a little loose and letting people kind of do what they do.
Right, well, I hate
like South Park, for example. I mean, nobody else would have ever let that sort of thing through. Nobody would have ever picked up our show in a million years. But they weren't under the gun, so they could be creative and be a little free. And
well, why shouldn't it be? Why should it be different with this form of creative art than any other form?
Well, but it's like with any other business. When you have nothing to lose, you can take risk.
Right.
When you have a ton to lose, they have to stay in their little rigid way of looking at things.
But in order to maintain that position of number one or in the top 5 or whatever it is, you have to be dynamic at a certain point, and you have to change with the trends and see what's going on.
Great companies reinvent themselves every 7 years.
Right. That's why Drew's been on the air for 15 years and hasn't changed an iota.
You're here.
Well, I hope that with success doesn't come mediocrity over there, and hopefully they'll stick with their guns.
I think they're still clawing their way up. So I'd say they got another good 3-4 years before everyone gets paid way too much.
Yeah, Dr. Quinn on and stuff.
That's right. Daughter of Dr. Quinn. Frontier nurse Jane Laidlaw. Jeanette?
Yeah.
You're 26.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I just want to say I love you guys. You're great.
Thanks.
And, okay, since I was 23, about the last 3 years, I've been having a problem with sex. When I meet somebody new for the first couple months, it's great. I have a very healthy sexual appetite. I'm not really afraid to, explore and do things. But after a couple months, I hate it. And this has happened repeatedly with different people that are treating me good. When we have sex, sometimes my body won't even let me have sex.
All right, I got some.
We do.
Would anything happen when you were 23?
No.
That was when this all started, right?
Yeah, I'm just kind of estimating, because in the beginning, I kind of just thought it was the person I was with, or
Well, you gotta get one of the swingers clubs.
Have the relationship changed in the quality, or is there something different about the kind of people you're relating to now, or?
No, actually, it's
were you in a long-standing?
I'm with nicer people. When I was younger, I always hated the jerks.
Right. Listen, it's funny. Anytime I hear a woman say, "He treats me real good," that's like means that somebody treated her real bad at some point.
She doesn't expect to be treated. Doesn't like even treated being well.
People that have been treated well their whole life never make that statement. This guy treats me good.
Yeah.
So who treated you bad before your first boyfriends?
Well, nothing. There was an incident once when I was younger. My parents got divorced when I was in 5th grade, and I think a couple years later, I don't even remember, I went to see my dad. I don't even remember where I saw him. I forgot all of it. And when I went to bed, we had a hotel room with a bedroom in it, and it was me, my brother, and my dad. And I went to bed early, and I remember when my dad came in, he got undressed and got into bed with me. And when I was growing up, seeing my parents naked was no big deal.
Yeah.
And he got into bed with me, and he's drunk. He was always drunk. And when he was hugging me, talking about how much he's missed me and everything, and when he fell asleep, and I do know he passed out, he got an erection. And I know that when men go to sleep or pass out, it's normal to get an erection in their sleep, obviously.
Yeah.
It freaked me out when I was that young.
How old were you?
I don't know, probably 6th grade.
Okay.
But the thing is,
Daddy getting naked, crawling into bed in 6th grade.
Yeah, leave the erection part out. It's already a creepy, boundaryless situation.
Why did it only start affecting me, if that's what it is?
It's not. I would say it's not a single event. It's having a dad who's an alcoholic, who has these poor boundaries, who is capable of this sort of thing with you, that sets you up for this. I mean, you should really get involved in some ACA groups.
I've been through therapy. I've been in 4 years of therapy, and I really have worked through a lot of the issues. That's why.
Well, that's why you've been able to pick better men. But you still are not all the way there because you can't really retain the intimacy. You have to sabotage it. You're that subconscious world sort of shuts down for you when the intimacy really gets going.
Right.
You need something more exciting, more abusive, more like it was with Dad to try to solve that problem in order to be impassioned by the relationship.
Yeah. I think that even when I was with people that were kind of crappy, I still lost.
Of course.
It doesn't matter if they're good, bad.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can't have intimacy with a real abuser anyway, but you can certainly keep trying, which is really what you're after, is recreating that circumstance.
But her dad was a mess.
A mess. And this is also proof, Jeanette, that you need more therapy. I'm saying, either go to Adult Children Alcoholics, go to Al-Anon, do a program, or get back into therapy.
I need 10 minutes of therapy just from hearing Jeanette's problem. I really do. So I know if she was the one who was in bed, she needs at least a couple of years.
And 4 years does not sound like a lot, or it doesn't sound like been through for somebody that's lived a life that grew up in the circumstances that Jeanette was in.
No, this guy, listen, and all you people that think life comes down to one event is ridiculous. I mean, the fact that your dad was loaded, the fact that he was always loaded, the fact that he was walking around naked, and the fact that for some reason you're in a hotel room and he got naked and crawled in bed with you when you were, 12, 13 years old is what we like to say is ridiculous.
And I hope we don't give people the impression that a single event is enough to destroy a personality. We certainly kind of, I could see how somebody listening could think that's the case.
Yeah.
An egregious circumstance can certainly affect you and be an issue, but it's more the hands of the people and the circumstances in which it evolved that are as impactful as the event itself.
All right. I could hear it in her voice.
Yeah.
She needs some help.
Yeah.
All right. So she going to do that? Right. Listen, I want all parents killed. That's my new thing.
You get a new host with me?
Oh, yeah, you. Spare Drew. You have to really make a strong case as to why you should be spared. You ought to just take, your leg off. Replace it with a piece of rebar so it sticks in the grass every time you walk and you get stuck. I had this great plan, Tom. I want to have this island. I went Felicia Rashad and Bill Cosby to Man 1. And what was the other island? They make a nice couple. What was the other island? Who's gonna man that other island?
You're doing like a Dr. Moreau thing? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna send all the kids of the nation.
Use parents.
And that's just about everybody.
Believe me, more like a Misfit Toys kind of place.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
The malls will be emptied, and I'm going to send them all to these islands to be raised by Bill Cosby. Who was the other dad? He was a white dad.
Yeah.
But I can't remember which one.
Alan Thicke.
No. But not bad.
No.
Is he still doing... I did that show, by the way. That's
Pictionary. Draw that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't
do
the
circuit
now.
Yeah.
That looks like fun.
Drew labeled it as gay when I did it. Lame. Sorry. Well, it's, 6 months ago. Now he's going back for a second Hollywood Squares. They stuffed me and Drew in the same stinky square. Right in the middle, too. We didn't get picked once. Played the whole last game, didn't get picked. Sucked. But they have a hell of a basket. Great basket. Beautiful champagne.
Yeah, what's going to happen next time?
Nice time.
Is that with, is Whoopi doing this?
Yes.
The Whoopi show.
Whoopi's in the middle.
And the luncheon with those video games.
Oh, yeah, me and Drew, we did some off-road racing on a video game and ate beautiful Italian cuisine. It's really the way to go, this whole celebrity thing. Hey, all you people listening, forget about going to school. You get yourself, and you don't have to be a real celebrity. I mean, Drew's not a celebrity, right? I'm not a celebrity. Tom's a quasi-celebrity. You get to do stuff. I mean, look at Drew. He's barely a celebrity. Last weekend, he played in the Dodger All-Star game, the Celebrity All-Star game.
Nice.
He's out there with...
How'd you do?
He sucked in the field, but he did okay at the plate. Yeah. He hits for power, though, not for average. But
you look like it.
We only get one at bat a year. It's kind of rough. If you don't homer, you're screwed. But he does these celebrity games. He did Space Ghost. Was on Friday night. We did the Hollywood Squares 2 weeks ago. All we do is sit around and eat and talk with Whoopi and play video games. They pay you a couple grand. I mean, what a life. And we're not even celebrities.
Except for the TV and the radio show, yeah.
Other than that, yeah. I still think of myself as a carpenter. Drew thinks of himself as a doctor. Don't you, Drew?
Yeah.
Okay. Desiree.
Yes.
You're 20?
Yes.
Oh, boy. What's going on with you?
I have one child that's 15 months old, and I am pregnant by a 40-year-old man. He's in his 40s.
Mm-hmm.
He wants me to get an abortion, but he also wants me to move in with him.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to take a little while.
Okay. Desiree?
Yeah.
All right. You got a lot of heavy stuff going on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We got to hang on because we got to go to break.
All right.
All right. We may gamble on you when we come back. Is that all right?
Okay.
There's plenty to gamble on, isn't there?
Yeah.
Okay. You know that works. All right. Tom, the way the show works is we gamble on people's past. We believe that we can tell their present and their future by their past. And when you see somebody's with a guy, he's 44, they're 20, they already got a 15-month-old, they're pregnant again, they sound like Desiree. Usually a little something up in the past. Could be alcoholism, could be abuse, could be whatever. Drew's pretty good, but I hold my own. Do I not?
True.
Yeah, and Drew's real cheap, by the way. I swear to God, he could have $2 in his wallet, he'd pluck down one for the bet, and then we'll sit there while somebody goes to an ATM. In the middle of the show before he pulls another dollar. I swear to God, I think it's like he's got a mousetrap in his wallet or something. He's so scared to reach into that thing. Okay, so Tom Lennon is here from Viva Variety, and we'll be back with more gambling after this.
Loveline. Be right back in a minute. Loveline. 94.7 NRK.
Hey, this is John Stewart. You're listening to Love Lines, and the answer to your question is ointment.
John. Very good guy. Tom Lennon is here. He is from Viva Variety. 10 o'clock, Tuesday nights, Comedy Central. Also, Saturdays 11:30?
Saturdays 10:30.
10:30, Sunday 11:30.
I think.
So on,
check your local listings.
Again,
I lose track.
Comedy Central. And this is a show that, by the way, everyone knows about. I don't know if anyone's ever seen it, but I swear to God, everyone knows Viva Variety.
Dozens of people have seen it.
Oh, really?
Dozens upon dozens.
You've got a big family.
Yeah.
Matt.
Hello.
Hey, you're 29.
Hey, I just want to say you guys are great, and Viva Variety is too. And Adam, you really crack me apart sometimes. I mean,
okay.
Some of the stuff you say, I like when I wake up the rest of the people in the house just laughing to myself. But
good. Do the orderlies ever come in and shine a flashlight through the little window?
Yeah, that's kind of a problem. Drew, I wanted to talk to you about the whole evolutionary thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the way that I understand evolution is that it's just reproductive success that determines who gets passed on their genes. I mean, and really, who has more reproductive success than people who have messed up relationships?
Well, in other words, people that have children at a young age.
Yeah, which is generally your, people.
Yeah, but people that do that, turns out people that do that don't live long and don't live healthy lives, and there's all sorts of negative impact of that as well.
But you don't have to live long.
You just have to be able to reproduce.
And a lot right away when you're young.
Drew brought the point up, which is how does it serve man from an evolutionary standpoint that if your dad was an alcoholic, you're attracted to alcoholics as an adult? I mean, why do humans have that component? Why is that necessary?
Why does our early traumatic experience get wired into our later relationships? And it just hardwires in dysfunction. And what possible evolutionary advantage could that have?
Drew?
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry, Tom, but didn't we have that call we're going to gamble on?
Yeah, she left. She dropped off. It was that particular line that you just went to.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right, so it wasn't about. Tom, you have any thoughts on that?
No, but I mean, in terms of evolution, I mean that's more your genetic makeup and stuff more than he's talking about a sort of an environmental thing.
But why do
part of your?
Yeah, but why do we respond to the environment in that way? I mean, does it in general?
Why are you attracted to what?
Why do we?
An objectively negative thing.
Yes.
Why would our circuitry let us do that?
Yes.
To move us on?
Right.
Well, here's what we came up with the other night.
Oh, great.
People mimic. I mean, listen, if you live in Zaire, you play whatever sport they play in Zaire, and if you live in the United States, you play basketball, and if you live in Europe, you play soccer, and whatever is in your culture and whatever it is around you, you mimic immediately. I mean, that's what kids do. So if your parents are good parents, you mimic that, and if they're bad, you mimic that. I don't think God knew how many people were going to be bad parents, or he wouldn't have programmed this in.
I don't think it's part of the plan necessarily.
Yeah,
no.
see, I think the reason society was able to go as far as it was is that there were containments. There was a structure that contained the less desirable behaviors. You were going to go to hell. You weren't going to have a good life. Yeah, there was also
put a scarlet letter on you.
Yeah, the society stepped in, and now there's just nothing there to contain it. So it's just spreading like wildfire.
Right.
And that's what's happening.
And everyone should have the opportunity to do their own thing all the time, right, Drew?
That's your world, baby.
Right.
Go for it.
Right. Thank God we have Reebok explaining to everyone it's their world constantly,
as opposed to ours.
That's really got to help the recycling program.
Yeah.
It's your world.
Yeah.
You do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Don't listen to anyone. You're 13. You got no education. That's fine. Do whatever you want.
It's yours.
It's your world. Go ahead. Hey, see that guy? You like his watch? Go get it. It's yours. It's your world. As long as the watch is on your planet and it's your world, and then it's all yours, baby. Go right ahead. Kristen, you're 14.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, it's like, okay, I have sex with guys, but it's like...
Oh, Drew's going for his wallet.
Huh?
He's going for his wallet. I'll tell you, if we were out to eat, we wouldn't see him make that move. But if he thinks there's a buck in it for him, he goes right for the wallet. All right, he's got a buck out already. Tom?
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do some gambling here. Yeah? Kristen?
Yeah.
You have sex with guys, yeah?
But it's like, I don't feel comfortable with it. Like, there's this one guy that I, like, really love with all my heart. But it's like, I don't feel comfortable around him, and I don't know what's wrong.
Mm-hmm. Do you like women, too?
Yeah.
You do?
You have sex with women also?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
We're back.
All right. You ready to gamble? Drew, let's not put Tom on the spot. Why don't you go first? You went for the wallet first. Why don't you make the first wager?
We go for like a really chaotic family, drug addict parents, and then got into some experimentation with her little friends when she was 7 or 8. That was she would think of as experimentation, but was in fact sexual abuse.
Mm-hmm. Are you going the sort of hippie parent route?
No, I'm going like chaos. Not that the parents were necessarily overtly abusive, but it was just a chaotic system that left her open to victimization from the outside.
I'm saying the only difference really between the hippie parent and the white trash abusive parent route is just pretty much a pair of sandals.
Yeah, just
white trash don't wear sandals; they wear boots. Other than that, like a Jimi Hendrix poster, a lid of Bad Sense of Me, and some sandals. I think that's about it.
It both requires empathic failure.
Okay, so you're going with some experimentation
family.
Early? Well,
Yeah.
that's not specific enough, the chaotic family.
No, like drug addict parents.
Drug addict. Okay. Tom, would you like to try?
I gotta, I honestly, I don't know. I'm not good at this.
That's all right. We'll take your money.
I don't know. What am I supposed? Ineffectual father. What am I supposed to do?
Absent father.
Yeah,
Absent
father. How about that?
That's good.
Sure.
She sounded all right. I'm going to go with. She claims nothing was up. She's just very amorous.
No, you can't do it.
She's going to claim that.
She'll give us something else.
No, I'm going with claim she's very amorous. I mean,
what's the subtitle?
Well, parents are divorced and that kind of thing. But I'm leaning toward the hippie. Do your own thing.
Okay.
Family. Kristen.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the family like?
Well, my parents are still together. But it's like, my dad used to hit me and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was about 9 years old, I was raped by my cousin.
Oh.
A girl?
No, it was a guy.
True. You can still you can still get cash for that rape, can't you, Drew? Is that rape redeemable for $3 for you? What about, was there any drug abuse?
Well, yeah, my dad did drugs.
Oh, son of a bitch. Not only am I sad to hear that your dad did drugs, but I'm really sad that Drew gets the $3.
But it is that situation with a chaotic family, a little more physical abuse than I thought had gone, and that leaves her open to victimization from the outside, and at 9, boom, there she goes. That's it. And
see, I knew something was up. See what I'm saying? It's not a bad bet every once in a while. So, who raped you when you were 9? Cousin?
Yeah, my cousin.
How old was he at the time?
He was about 32.
Well, Kristen, it's understandable that you would have mixed, if not rageful feelings towards men. I mean, your dad was physically abusive. Another man abused you sexually as a child. I mean, come on. And ambivalence about your sexual identity, of course. Having been through that kind of trauma, I mean, my God. So the best thing for you now at 14, so you don't compound the traumas that you've gone through as a young person, is to kind of sit back and maybe not engage in physical intimacies for a while until things kind of settle down.
Well, you know how, you know what doctors say when you, like, bust your knee up? They go, Well, there'll be no more skateboarding for a couple of months, and I'm going to need you to stay off that knee. You need to stay off your vagina.
Perineum.
If I was a doctor, perineum?
That's the whole pelvic floor.
Okay, that's right. You need to stay off that perineum. Hump it off. That's another thing doctors would say, like a football coach might say that. Come on, hump it off.
Okay, in this case, you don't say that.
Oh, you don't say that.
No,
Okay, stay off. So here's what we're saying. Here's what I'm saying, but I speak for all of America when I say this. You had some horrible, tragic things happen to you in your childhood. You need to do some work to work through some of the feelings and juices that were vile juices that were created when those horrible things happen. Now, what you need to do in the interim, before you're all healthy, is not act out. Not get herpes, not get crabs, not get pregnant.
Not get abused again.
Not get abused. Not have some wacko guy drives a van come to your house and beat the crap out of you. You know what I'm saying?
Not date 19-year-olds.
You just need to stay off the perineum for a while. Stay off it.
Just out of curiosity, the guy you love with all your heart, how old?
15.
15.
Okay.
Not too bad.
No.
But take it easy. You really need a chance to grow up. Your brain actually was still going to be growing for the next couple of years, and it's having enough time managing what it's got, and you keep acting it out and reenacting these traumas. It's gonna make things worse.
You know what we're saying, Kristen?
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to be? Here's what I'm saying. Whenever, when you're 9 years old and your cousin did this to you, and when you were younger and your dad did whatever he did to you, do you want to be damned to that life your entire life? Do you want that to rule your life for the rest of your life?
No.
Do you want to just react? I mean, it's like, here's what I'm saying. If you were 5 and a black guy kicked your ass walking home from school, would you want to hate black people with a rage for the rest of your entire life? Or would you want to get over it and enjoy life? Do you know what I'm saying? Or what you're doing now is you're joining the Klan. That's what I'm saying. So you're smart. You sound older than 14, and it's probably because you were made older than 14 too fast. Don't act out now. Just stay off it. Get some help, get some counseling, and when things get straightened out, you go back.
Adult children alcoholics, or even, you're not adults yet, Al-Anon, Alateen. Go to some organizations where you can get some support and start meeting some people that make healthier choices, perhaps.
Okay. We're going to do like a Jonestown thing. I'm going to have Ann poison some chicken bouillon, and we're going to kill ourselves in here. Okay. Engineer Mike should be at the helm when we come back in 4 minutes.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. The phone number's 1-800-LOVE-191.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back.
I'm glad you're here.
Loveline. Listen up, man. 94.7 NRK.
Hi, this is Nev Campbell, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Tom Lennon is here from Viva Variety. We're going to take a little 10-second top of the hour break, and then we'll be right back with more of the show.
This is Loveline on radio station. NRK headed Portland to New Rock. New Rock Alternative. New Rock Alternative. New Rock Alternative. At 94.7 NRK.
Look at Lisa reading the travel section of the time. It's Corey Feldman. I thought it was Lisa over there, right? That was funny. All right, there's a visual. You guys need to be here. Boy, did I lose my erection. I gotta tell you. Tom Lennon is here from Viva Variety. Comedy Central, 10 o'clock, Tuesday nights. You can also see it rerunning at 10:30 on Saturdays and 11:30 on Sunday evenings. Tom is essentially the host. There's you and Mr. Blue Jeans, right?
That's right. Me and a guy named Johnny Blue Jeans, played by Mike Black, and on the show she plays my ex-wife, who's Carrie Kenny, very, very talented actress.
And is the show, and you were saying it was a sort of send-up of all those, what was it called, Muy Gigante? Or?
Yeah, Sabato Gigante. There's one in Italy called Copo Grosso. Which,
all these sort of Latin-flavored, big, broad variety type shows. The rest of the world is about 25 years behind the United States when it comes to TV,
Exactly.
except for
our show. Exactly.
Except for sexually. Sexually, they're 25 years ahead of us. They know what sells. But if you turn on Spanish TV or you look at some of these shows in Europe, they're still doing these sort of Ed Sullivan type, big variety type shows, but they got, big bus and the sequence and lots of colors.
Monkeys and dancers, and we sing a lot, and we, it's incredibly good natured. It's sort of very innocent in a way.
And those chimpanzees are back.
The New York Times called it a feast for the eyes. Did you know that?
Very nice to us, yeah.
I made that up, but it sounds good, right?
USA Today hates our guts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
they just keep waiting in the bushes for us to do something so they can.
I hate to admit it because everybody with an IQ makes fun of USA Today because the more pictures, the more they make fun of the paper. Yeah. To me, it's the greatest publication ever. I just wish the pictures were bigger and there was less words because I really like
And I know you've been lobbying for a Page 3 girl.
Oh,
in USA Today.
Any paper, but
absolutely.
I think USA is a lot closer than like the Utney Reader or something like that.
Well, they certainly got the good color Xerox for it.
I'm saying you could really enjoy a Page 3 girl.
Absolutely.
Yeah, over there in England, I'm guessing it's still black and white.
Cover of the Life section would be good, the purple one.
Right. It's funny, I'm from L.A., so I call everything the calendar section.
Oh, yeah.
Which is offensive to other people who come from other states. Oh, what are we doing, Drew?
You're just randomly picking a number.
Oh, I am?
Direct you to pick.
Oh, you're holding one?
Yes.
That's the problem with the one finger. Actually, 2, 3 is the only thing that really means anything, because one finger can mean F you or hold on a minute. 2 fingers can mean peace, or in England, if you do it this way, it's like bullocks, it's like up yours, or it could have meant V-Day. 3, now that's the first time the fingers really start meaning a number.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you start at 3 and you go backward to 1, it means something. See, if you start with 3 and then go to 2, then it's not peace, it's 2.
Okay.
If you do this, it means hang loose, bro.
Absolutely. These are all skydiving signals, too.
Do you do that?
I just did it last week for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you do the one where the guy mounts you?
I did not do that one because I wasn't into that. No, we did one where we jumped, me and the 2 other guys from the show, jumped at 12,500 feet.
Geez. Really?
Yeah, and that means check your ripcord, check your altitude, and check the other guy in the air.
When you jumped, did you do the static line jump?
No, we jumped, you get a guy, and it's called the Advanced Free Fall.
On your first jump? On your first jump?
Well, you have to take a 7-hour class. And the really scary part's the class, because for 7 hours they just talk about different ways that you're going to die in the air.
2 hours of it is watching that Sheen movie, High Velocity, though, so it's not really 7 hours.
Break. But then you do it, and you don't really think about it, and it's exciting. You fall for 50 seconds.
See, I wouldn't mind doing it, but I know I would die. I would suspect that the plane would crash when it was taking off, and it would be very ironic that they would find my burnt, charred body with the parachute would be deployed, but I'd be on the ground.
The stoner, skydivers down in Paris Valley aren't using the best planes either. They got old stuff that's around.
I could imagine.
Fill it up with kerosene.
Well, I think if everyone on the plane is packing a chute, maintenance just drops down another notch or two. Wouldn't you think that people just get a little more lax with that? Okay, let's see.
You're fine.
Oh, I'm fine, yeah. Okay. See, I'm a genius, Drew, but it really, I'm going to have trouble focusing.
Helena?
Yeah.
You're 44.
I'm 44. Is this Adam Carolla?
Yeah.
Or Dr. Drew?
That was Adam.
Well, let me tell you something about Adam Carolla. I really like that guy. I like these Italian guys 34 years old because they're really obnoxious and they're really awesome. But let me talk to you, Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
I never married, never had kids. I'm African-American, L.A. woman, born in California. I was on medication for many years. I had a chemical imbalance. I went into the hospital and all that. I was disabled. But I went to college and all that, and I studied music and was a professional waitress and da-da-da. And then the doctor took me off about a year ago. But during the years I was disabled, it was about 15 years I was disabled, so I was in and out of the hospital and stuff like that. So I was on medication, a lot of heavy-duty medication. I was on straps. I was in big hospitals like...
Helena, what specifically can you do for
Well, let me ask you a quick question, since you were a professional waitress for those years.
Uh-huh.
Did you work at a diner that served breakfast?
I worked in quite a few.
Okay, then maybe you can help me out with this. What is the deal with toast coming the week after the goddamn eggs show up? I don't know what it is. I swear to God, I started noticing this about a year and a half ago, that the toast started showing up the next day. As a matter of fact, you'd get lucky, you'd get the toast that the guy who was there the day before ordered would show up when your eggs when your eggs came. But I've been noticing, like, 10 minutes to the time the toast, you could add 10 minutes since 1991, add 10 minutes for each year on the calendar to the time it took the toast to arrive at the table. And here's what happens. The Santa Fe omelet shows up, and then you're like, I had stuff, that toast will be up in a minute, hon. And you go, oh, okay, I'll just wait on the omelet. And you stare at the omelet for a minute, and then you go, I'm going to have a couple bites of the omelet, but I'm not going to finish the omelet off because I like to use the toast as sort of a scooper, and it's to sop up some of the yolks and whatnot. And then the woman, the waitress makes 2 or 3 passes. Sure. And now you're staring at the omelet. The omelet's getting cold. And now you're starting to dig into the omelet because you're hungry.
And when it comes, it's not piping hot as if it just came out either.
And why do they call it toast? It's not like you raised your glass and the glass was made of bread. All right, would you knock that crap off? I'm serious. The point is the stuff shows up the second you're done with the omelet, and then you got a stack of toast. And I can't figure out, toast seems to be the easiest part. It's not the flapjacks, it's not the cottage fries, it's not the omelet, it's the goddamn toast. You put the toast in the toaster, put it in when you tell the guy to make the omelet. Then when he's done with the omelet, the toast will have already popped out of its little cave where it was hibernating for the winter, and you can throw the toast on the same plate, and here's a novel idea. Bring the toast out the same time you bring the omelet. That's all.
Maybe Helena can straighten it out.
She's crazy. She won't. Helena?
That was great.
What's up with the toast? Seriously.
Well, it all depends how you do it. It all depends how good you are. If you're a doggone good waitress, you know how to bring everything hot. You know how to keep them happy. You know how to be there.
But what is the strategy behind the toast? Why are they always behind in the toast?
It all depends how fast you are, see. It all depends on how you handle people, how you are, how things are. You got to time yourself.
I'm not going to get anywhere with Helena. There's some toast conspiracy. I'm going to get to the bottom of it, but not with this shill. Helena was obviously paid off by the bread industry.
Yeah, there you go. But, Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
So, I was on, like, lithium, Hall Dog, Kenneton, Meloril, Tegretol, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay, I lost 150 pounds.
Wow.
And I was 290. Now I'm 130, size 2'3", and I used to be size 28. So to make a long story short, now I'm dating and all that, and, I go out with guys and go places and do this and that. And I was in this Christianity for a long time, and I thought it was taboo to have sex when I was younger, in my 20s and 30s and blah, blah, blah. And now screw that. Forget that stuff. And now everything's nice now, and everything's like the past is the past.
All right. Well, what's your question?
My question is, I'm 44. I never married and I've had children. I had an IUD when I was younger, and now I'm on birth control. And my doctor says, well, you're at that age now where you can't have kids really, and you're getting, you're menopausal. Is that true? I mean, there are some women that have kids in their late 40s.
If they ovulate. I mean, if you are having menstruation and if you are ovulating, then there's a potential for pregnancy, but it's certainly risky at those ages.
Even if you're healthy and...
The risks start climbing real fast in your age.
Well,
especially for the fetus, but for you also.
Really?
No. Kids aren't your cards, that's all.
How do you know? Are you God, Adam?
I play one on the radio, and I can tell you, don't think about adoption.
Why not?
There's no way they're giving away a kid to you.
Forget you, Adam. But one more thing before I go. I got to tell you something, Adam.
Real fast.
Adam Carolla, you just make my monkey wiggle, honey.
Really?
You are a beautiful guy, and don't let no one sell you short, okay?
I won't. And I do believe you may have a monkey in your pants, Helena.
Elena's great. Come
at least
on.
it's tail. All right, now, Elena, God bless you.
Yeah.
Listen, way out of her demo. The 44-year-old black woman who used to weigh 300 pounds. She's an avid listener of the show.
Listen, does it not give you some...
shut up, Drew.
But look, she went through a lot of stuff. And
I know. And let me tell you something about black women. They look good naked in their 40s, and they could lose 200 pounds and still snap right back. Mm-hmm. It's like black skin. It's like an inner tube. You stretch it all the way out, you let the air out, snaps right back. White woman, How would you like to see a white woman, 44 years old, weight 290, down to 126 now? You know what I'm talking about? On meds her whole life?
A Sharpay.
It's like, hey, did you get laid? I don't know, I think. I was in something. Oh, yeah. All right. I was picturing Geraldine the whole time.
You really are creepy.
Oh, please. It's just, Elena sounded a little like a man. A little bit.
I think she sounded great.
Okay. All right.
Really, that gives me hope for people that go through a tough time.
Right. Monica,
Yes.
you're 20.
Well, if you make Elena's monkey wiggle, you make my hippo dance.
Really?
Sure.
The whole menagerie going on in the panties of our listeners, yeah.
First of all, Adam and Drew, you do a wonderful thing, I'm telling you.
That's great. Thank you.
Helping out so many people.
I got to tell you, about twice a year, people call in and compliment us, and then it dries up.
Yeah, spontaneously, there's a night where we get...
There's some sort of momentum people have with that.
Tonight's the night.
All right.
Oh, I guess so.
Thanks. What's going on with you?
Well, I just have a few comments. First of all, Tom, the state.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Are you about to see something nasty or something nice?
I'm sorry?
Is it about to be nasty?
No.
Oh, great.
Unless you wanted to.
Oh, please.
Did you watch the state?
Just the one skit that always stands out in my mind is the Nutcracker in the tiny, tiny room.
In a tiny, tiny room.
I love that. The first time I saw it, I laughed so hard, people thought there was something wrong with me.
Yeah, we did the Nutcracker suite in a room that was about 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet. And it doesn't get very far.
The ballerinas flying all over the place, and it was just great.
Yeah, that was a tough one to shoot.
Yeah, I bet.
There was a lot of guys in tights right next to guys in tights. And
now, do you watch Viva Variety now, Monica?
I don't, because my lousy cable company does not carry Comedy Central.
Yeah, a lot of them don't.
Really?
Every once in a while, my cousin will tape an episode for me, and I'll get to watch it then, and I just love it.
Where are you calling? Do you have that godforsaken Salmon's cable I used to have
No,
in Lockport Center?
I'm calling from Phoenix, and we have the godforsaken Cox cable.
Cox cable?
It's horrible. Horrible.
What else, Monica? What's up?
They got the MTV?
Yeah, I do.
All right, that's all we care about.
That's all they
That's fine.
And I get the sporadic showing of Loveline every once in a while. Also, I just wanted to make a few comments. First of all, the island with Felicia Rashad and Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
I think it was John Tesh that you talked
That's
to.
right.
Ooh, really?
Thank you.
My God! Finally, somebody listens to the show.
John Tesh.
Yeah, I wanted the other island to have Connie Selica and John Tesh on it.
Don't give him any speakers to...
No, we'd take away his instrument, but he would be there with his beautiful wife Connie, and they would raise the kids.
They're good parents.
And probably send the white kids over there and the black kids over the bill, and then it wouldn't be a busing program, it'd be a barging program. We'd take a barge, we'd take some of the black kids, we'd bring them over there, take some of the white kids, we'd bring them over there. Not for the whole night, but just bring them back and forth, let them commingle a little bit.
I think it's a great idea.
Also, Adam, a comment. Oh, first of all, if I may real quick, I'm sorry, I'm kind of nervous here, but I work at a postal installation, and you just brighten up our lives, especially in December when we're working 10, 12-hour days.
She's bringing this up because she knows you like this.
Oh, I do, yeah, I love this.
I'm a postal worker, scary, huh?
Do you work at night, obviously?
Yeah, I do. I usually work anywhere from 2 or 3 in the afternoon till 9 or 10.
Let me ask you a question about the postal system.
Okay.
Do you guys, do you ever eat toast when you guys go? No. Here's my question. All post offices I've ever seen close at, 4 or 5 in the afternoon, but we always talk to people who say they work at mail sorting centers.
Right.
Which I'm guessing is not the post office.
No.
It's somewhere you sort the mail, and then the mail goes out to the individual post offices in their own little provinces, right?
Right. Basically, where I work at, it's called the Remote Encoding Center. We get, pictures. It's really hard to explain, but basically I work with, the mails come in after the carriers have picked it up, and it goes to the main processing plant. Mm-hmm. Then we help them sort it out via a computer terminal.
Right.
And you've got a bunch of fans there. I mean, have you ever heard 500 postal workers laughing at the same time?
Really? What do you find people go with in envelopes these days? The paper or the manila, the brown kind? Do people have a preference?
Paper, mostly.
Go with the white paper?
Yeah,
I told Drew that during the last break. He said manila. But I tell you, you're living in the 70s, buddy.
No, we see paper.
All right, so the place is open 24 hours a day, right?
Not really. It's open from, let me see, the latest shift finishes up about 2 or 3.
All right.
All right, you had other comments, Mom?
No, that's it. Do you have big breasts?
No, that's the thing.
All right, well, that's enough.
Well, that's the thing. Let her finish.
Well, listen, I'll do the math. She's got small breasts.
But she wants to make a comment. What's the comment, Monica?
Thank you, Dr. Drew.
What is it?
Just real quick, I'm about 290, 5'11", have an A cup. There is no God.
No, there isn't.
There is no God.
There is no God.
No, there is not.
Let me tell you, though, with guys, big fat guys, their penis shrinks. So, you know there's no God.
That's a comfort.
Yeah, now, the black guys come on to you? I know this seems like a theme tonight, but I have this theory with that.
No, not really. No.
Really?
No.
So, do you have men? Do you have a husband or anything?
Oh, God, no.
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 Are you a virgin?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's probably because of my religion, too.
What is that?
Catholic.
And, yeah, you couldn't be Jewish because you'd have the big jugs if you're Jewish. There's no 290 woman who's Jewish. You don't have a big set of cans. They strip her. They throw her right out of the religion. Your head should grow on the ground like an onion, they yell, and they throw her right out of the synagogue. So, you want to know how to... what's the question?
I don't really have a question. I just
okay.
want to comment, tell you guys how much I love the show, how much I love the station.
Well, wait a minute. We got to do something with these breasts of yours. Can you lose some of the weight?
I've been trying so far. I've lost about 30 pounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've just had a weight problem all my life, but I'm really trying now. So.
Are your parents big?
Yeah, both of them are. It really runs in my family.
Oh, yeah. I want you to kick your dad in the nuts.
My dad's listening right now.
Oh, okay. Well, then he can do it himself.
Okay.
Whatever member of the family that can get their foot the highest off the ground, I want them to kick Dad right in the nuts.
God. Okay.
All right, listen.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. The deck is stacked against you. There's no doubt about it. No. And listen, it's the biggest lie in America. You know, Tyra Banks is going to write a book on how to work out. Mm-hmm. Listen, Tyra Banks lives off pastry and cocaine. Believe me.
She doesn't eat.
All right. You're right, Drew. Heroin and cocaine. No. She doesn't do drugs. But the point is, these supermodels don't eat anything different than... They sit around at the supermodel cafe and they eat lattes and pastry all day long, and they don't work out any harder than anyone else. As a matter of fact, I'm sure fat people actually work out harder than supermodels do. They are cut a certain way. That's the way they came out. As God is my witness. So you're never going to look like that.
I don't expect
But you can look the best that you're capable of looking. And even if your parents are haunchy, and even if you don't have the genes going for you, with the diet and discipline and work ethic and all that kind of stuff, you can trim down to about 275. And you can get yourself down to a nice workable weight. And if you look the best that you should look, people will be attracted to you. It's not... this is an interesting concept. It doesn't matter how much you weigh or how big your ass is. It matters that you are at your potential.
Right.
People will be attracted to that. There's... I've known many a woman who had thick legs and big calves and a big behind, still had plenty of guys... they were drunk, but plenty of guys were attracted to these women because... even though they were big genetically, they were sort of at their best in terms of their potential.
And how they feel about it also, it comes off so quickly and so easily.
All right. Hey, we should hook her up with Helena. She'd say how she lost 190 pounds. All right, we're going to go to break.
I feel so liquidy. Really? Why? You're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Loveline, I'll be right back.
It's Loveline.
94.7 NRK.
Hi, this is David Allen Greer, and you are listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and the one and only Dr. Drew.
Yes, he is. Tom Lennon is here tonight. He is from Viva Variety. He usually has a mustache and a bad tux on, and he's almost sort of blends in. I mean, he's very he's attractive in a nondescript way. Wouldn't you say that, Drew?
Yeah.
Tom's good. Tom's one of these guys. He's like you, Drew. He's good looking because there's nothing wrong with him.
Thanks.
I have this theory about that. It's just certain people are good looking because there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. They're not fat, they don't have bad teeth, they don't have a big nose, they don't have anything wrong with them. Therefore, by default, they're good looking. Right. And then there's
you got nothing really in the plus column, but less minus.
Right. Nothing in the minus column. So you got to be good looking.
Right.
You're my stern but groovy master, Adam.
Who was that, Jennifer Grey?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, or is, yeah, right.
Yeah. That was, we always confuse her with Fiona Apple. Right. I haven't heard anything from Fiona Apple in a little while.
Kiss my ass, Adam.
That's Fiona. There you go. Yeah, she's a woman now, you know. Julia.
Hi.
Hey, you're 20.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, just turned 20, and I've never been on a date, never been kissed, nothing. And I went to a counselor for a little bit during school, and she would say to me, why do you always pick guys that, it seems like you always pick guys that you can never have. And it's not like, I've had a couple of guys like me, but for some reason, they just completely repulse me. I can't stand them.
Mm-hmm.
That's as opposed to liking guys you can't have.
I guess.
I'm repulsed by the guys that like me, therefore...
But I found them annoying in the first place anyways, but then I found out that they were attracted to me, and then they were just extra annoying.
All right, what's the question?
So I just wanted to know, like, you guys are always talking about patterns, and I just wanted to know if I'm one of those people that I shouldn't trust my instincts when it comes to people I'm attracted to.
Well, for some people, it's paramount that they don't trust their instincts because it's going to end up in abuse or rape or something like that. For you, it just means a life of sort of frustration and crappy, half-baked relationships. So it's not that bad. It's like purgatory. It's not hell.
Feels like hell, but...
Well, here's the thing. Somebody took a crap on you, right? And now you don't trust guys.
Yeah.
Right. So you only get involved with people that you don't like because who cares?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like if you got fired from a job you really loved and you're scared to get fired from a job you really loved, so you just took a bunch of crappy jobs that you didn't care about, and so if you get fired, no big deal.
Also, the guys...
And then you quit before you can get fired.
The guys she can't have are probably those exciting ones that would be abusive if she were in a relationship with them anyway.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then that's the thing. I mean...
All right, we've settled that. What's the next one?
Talk about abuse. I mean, my father, when I was a little kid, he used to... What's the line between scolding and abuse?
Hitting you. If he struck you, that's abuse.
Okay.
Isn't scolding...
If he struck you with an object, that's severe abuse.
Isn't scolding more of a verbal thing?
Well, it got verbal. Like, when I got bigger, it got just verbal. There was no more hitting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But he hit you when you were a kid.
Yeah, when I was a little kid, yeah.
So your dad's kind of an a-hole, right?
Yeah.
All right, so your dad's an a-hole, so here's the psychological dynamic. Your dad disappointed the hell out of you when you grew up, right? Here's this guy, he's your dad, and he's hitting you and being a prick. So now you've been very disappointed by a male. So you don't want to get disappointed again. So you don't give yourself to anybody. You just get involved with relationships with guys that you can't really have.
There are guys that you would go for, right, though?
Huh?
There are guys you would go for, right?
Yeah.
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 Tommy Lee,
Yeah.
Jan Michael Vincent,
Right.
guys like that?
Yes.
Jan Michael Tommy Lee. Can you
No.
imagine how bad that guy would be?
No, not like that. It's, I don't know, the last guy I went for, he wasn't, abusive or anything, but he just, he screwed me over a lot. He really took advantage of me.
But you're really attracted to him,
Yeah,
right?
and of course, being screwed over a lot is no relation to abuse.
No, not same man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Hey, Julia? So here's what you got to do.
Okay.
Instead of trying to fix all your current relationships, you just got to work out the relationship that you had or have with your dad, and then you'll be freed up to have good relationships.
Yeah, I'm okay with, I still love my father, but I realize he's an asshole. I say I love him, but I don't like him very much.
Right.
So, I'm cool with that, and I realize the shorter amount of time I ever spend with him, the better for both of us.
All right, but the fact is that he beat you around when you were little, and you have to reconcile that. You have to straighten that part out, or you're not going to have a good relationship, just because you've sort of come to terms with it.
It's not really about their relationship. It's about her personality structure as she has developed it to manage being traumatized so badly.
Yeah, but that was brought on by the abuse from her dad.
But having a reasonable relationship with dad is not going to...
Oh, no. All right. Yeah, I didn't mean to say that. I don't mean that she needs to have a good relationship with her dad. She needs to go back and explore her old relationship and work out a few feelings there.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Tom, you with me on this?
I am.
Tom, seems like your parents were probably pretty nice.
Yeah, they're lovely folks. They're actually listening right now at my house, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very married for going to be 31 years. And,
wow. Where'd you get a sense of humor? You must have to really work hard for that sense of humor.
They're very funny people, too.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, hilarious.
They're just talented, then.
They're pretty talented, funny people, yeah.
I've found that in this industry, somewhere between 95 and 97% of the people are in it because... In comedy. And even in performing in general, but certainly in comedy. Not because they're immensely talented and this was some sort of calling, like, Beethoven had to compose. It's not one of those things. It's more like no one paid attention to me when I was a kid.
Acceptance and attention.
The audience becomes my family, and I have to constantly make up for what I didn't get.
Don't want to be validated.
Once in a while, you run into someone like Tom alleges himself to be that supposedly.
I'm screwed up.
That is just a talented, funny person and got into the business because they're talented and funny. And you can hear it in Tom that he doesn't push real hard and he doesn't have to sell everything and he's not way over the top. There's not you don't get the feeling that he's compensating for something like you do with Drew. Drew's always on.
Yeah.
On what?
On a Quaalude, I'd say. Yeah. So that's good.
I hope so.
You're a smart guy, right?
I try to be a pretty, balanced guy.
You did well in high school?
I did pretty well in high school. I did okay.
Yeah. You went to college?
I went to NYU. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. Where's that?
Yeah. It's in NY.
NY.
Yeah.
New York.
I see. Yeah. And you did well over there?
Did okay. Yeah, I did pretty well, and try to keep my head together.
What would you compare NYU to, Drew?
Out here?
Would it be UCLA? Would it be Northridge?
UCLA.
Northridge?
No, UCLA.
Okay.
Yeah, almost Berkeley.
Oh,
almost.
You're being kind, I think. You're being more than a little.
We're not speaking culturally, everybody, just in terms of academic difficulty. Okay. I had a little stint over at Valley College. It's usually when they put the word college after it, it's always bad. I've found. Did you? No, but you went to.
Vassar does that too.
Yeah, all the.
Yeah, but the point is
schools.
People say Vassar.
Yeah.
And you went to
Amherst.
Amherst. People, you don't say Amherst College.
You do, but you're right.
You say Amherst.
Yeah,
people know what it is. When you have to plug the college in at the end, it's usually.
So it doesn't sound like a fast food restaurant or something.
Right. So it sounds like a bowling alley otherwise. All right, Ben.
Wow, I've been on hold for a while.
Be careful, Ben.
Oh, that always have this Tourette's where I have to put people back on hold and complain that they're on hold.
Oh, please, no.
All right, what's going on?
Okay, I was with my girlfriend for about 7 months. I loved her to death, and then she went out of town for 3 weeks, and I cheated on her. And I didn't go all the way with this other girl. I just kissed her, messed around, and I felt right afterwards I felt terrible. I said I can't do this. And I went back. My girlfriend came back. I told her, and she dumped me. And then I said, I was really miserable. And I tried it with another girl. I went out with her for about a couple weeks, and I cheated on her. And I went talking to all my friends, and they're like, I'm addicted to sex because whenever I can't get it from a girl, I always go to someone else.
Right. You ever go to a guy?
No.
Okay. Just playing a hunch. But is it addicted to sex? Because you didn't have sex. I mean, it was addicted to attention from the opposite sex. But if you just messed around with this girl, you didn't actually fornicate.
Right.
So maybe you're just addicted to that thrill or that rush or that attention. Do you need to be having sex?
Well, the thing is, that's what I think, because I masturbate a lot.
Uh-huh. What do you think about?
When you masturbate?
My ex-girlfriend.
Uh-huh. Does she have a penis? No?
No.
No. You never think about guys?
No.
A little bit?
I was for a while, 6 months, but then I stopped.
6 months?
I stopped that.
Then you got paroled?
Did a guy ever do anything to you when you were younger?
No.
You never messed around with a guy, experimented when you were a
kid? No, never.
Okay. Nothing like that.
You know when you watch... Oh, anything like that, Ben?
The only thing The only thing weird sexually is that my mother used to take me into the shower with her. Not like the public showers, like when they go to a community center and they take a shower there. She'd take me into the shower with her.
Until you were what age?
5, 6, 7.
It's a little weird.
Community center. At the community center, you said?
Yeah, because you go swimming and play basketball, and then you have to take a shower afterwards. And
With your mom. Why's your mom taking a shower?
yeah, my mom's taking a shower. I'm just sitting there.
What's your mom, like a power forward for the park team or something? What's your mom doing?
No, only after she goes swimming.
Oh, okay. Tell her to put her damn sarong on and go home.
But you went through a period where you were ambivalent about your
I got to pay for a mom's shower.
You were ambivalent about your sexual identity and were thinking about guys a lot.
That was more when I was really, really depressed. I thought, girls weren't working for me. I could try guys, but it didn't really work for me either. So.
All right, but you're only 17 years old, and to decide that hey, maybe I'll go this other direction sexually, even if it's for a brief period. It's before the age of 17. Says that there's a little ambivalence there.
A lot of ambivalence.
Would you let me get this out of him, Drew?
Hey, what's some ambivalency?
Well, it means there's like a little confusion.
Oh.
Maybe you could go this way or that way. You thought about guys. You ever watch Viva Variety?
Yeah, I actually watched it Sunday night.
Yeah. Would you agree with this statement that both the gents on that show are fairly attractive? Tom Moore in a nondescript way, but still attractive?
Yeah, where's his accent, though?
Oh.
Yeah, do a little of that, would you?
That kind of thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that did it for Ben.
Have we pushed you over the edge now?
Sorry.
You like all the big costumes, man?
That's a big...
In the Viva Variety?
Was your dad kind of abusive to you when you were a lot younger?
Yeah.
And he left?
No.
No, he's still around?
He's still around, but he went through therapy after his mother died, so he doesn't do anything anymore.
But he still married your mom?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But he was abusing you at one time?
He was abusing me until I was 14.
All right.
Well, that's a stint. Just sexually or physically? Or?
Physically. I was too scared to fight back until his mother died. And
the mom was all over him, keeps him in the shower, won't even let him shower by himself.
Mm-hmm. Well, won't let her shower by herself. Yeah. All right, Ben. Listen, there seems to be a little confusion in your voice.
Just slow down.
So maybe pull back and think about it a little bit.
Don't be in a hurry to make a big decision or commitment or experiment or you know these choices are unhealthy to be so compulsed. And is there alcoholism in your family somewhere?
No.
Okay. So, there's some sort of compulsive sexual behavior going on. You can look into SA if you want. I think the thing to do is just to spend time with your friends, maybe not have a relationship right now, and figure out who you are. And don't try to have a relationship until you know who you are in a relationship and what you want.
Tom, did you get a little ambivalent/gay vibe off of Ben?
A little bit.
There's a little something there.
The second he started talking.
He did. You can call him. It's unbelievable.
Drew wrote the word gay with a question mark behind it about 2 syllables into Ben's call. Had I been able to spell gay, I would have written it down, too. It turns out I just wrote fago.
From here, I thought you wrote goy. And I thought, it's boy. It's a goy I should call.
Tom Lennon is here from Viva Variety, and he will still be here when we come back.
This is Loveline.
Loveline will be right back.
It's Loveline. 94.7 Loveline. NRK.
Hi, this is John Tesh, and you are listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Yes, you is. I'll tell you, we're one of the few shows that has the balls to admit that we really dig John Tesh. We have no idea what his music is like, but John Tesh is one of the nicest guys you're ever going to want to meet.
Ever, absolutely.
Met John Tesh at some convention. I walked up to him, introduced myself, said, hey, I host a show called Loveline. This is like 2.5 years ago. Would you mind coming on the show sometime? He said, no problem. Showed up the next week. Has been here a couple of times. Brought his kids, and just one of the nicest, most genuine sort of family guys you're ever going to want to meet.
When was that convention? 2 or 3 years ago?
3 years ago.
3 years ago, wow.
No wonder we hate each other. Oh, think of what stooges we were walking through that NAPD convention. Can you imagine? This is the TV and radio convention they had in Vegas like 3 years ago. Have you ever attended one of those?
I've not gone to it now.
Oh, it's bad.
It's bad.
It's real bad. Yeah. But, well, imagine this. 5,000 TV guys under one roof. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Better off going to a pedophile leper colony. If they had, like, lepers who were specifically pedophiles and they kept them on a certain island, you'd be better off, like, during slop time on one of those.
Imagine us doing what now?
Imagine me with my horrible, combative, jaded attitude toward authority now at that convention this time, now, not 3 years ago. Do you know what I'm
trying
saying?
To think if there's any circumstance under which you might have to go back.
It would never happen, but if it did, I'd be tarred and feathered and ran out of the place.